Good morning to all of you. As we know, we have been studying about the consolidation chapter. So under the heading consolidations, we have discussed many topics like how we can define consolidation, what are the various types of consolidation, how we can carry out consolidation test in the laboratory. We have also talked about how we can calculate the void ratio using height of solid method. And once we calculate the void ratio for the different effective stress, how we can plot the graphs in between the effective stress and the void ratio, right? So once we have drawn the graphs in between the effective stress and void ratio, so based on that, we have also studied about various definitions like coefficient of compressibility, coefficient of volume change, compression index, expansion index, and many more. We have also defined what is the normal consolidated soil, over consolidated soil, over consolidation ratios. And then we have also talked about how we can determine coefficient of consolidation, right? Using a square root of time fitting method developed by the Taylor. So these topics already we have completed under the heading consolidation. So today we shall talk about Terzaghi one-dimensional consolidation theory. See, Terzaghi, what he has said, that the consolidation or settlement for any given time, right? The consolidation is or settlement is directly based on the expulsion of pore water pressures. As I have told you, that suppose your foundation or footing exists on the fully saturated soil, fully saturated cohesive soil. So in that case, the settlement of the structure may take place once the expulsion of water takes place through the voids due to the application of a static load. What is the static load here? The static load is the structure, okay? And we have also studied the use of the total stress, what is total stress, effective stress, and neutral stress. Neutral stress is nothing but it is the pore water pressure. So these three stresses have a major role in Terzaghi one-dimensional consolidation theory. So let us see what are the various assumptions given by the Terzaghi. Terzaghi, the first Terzaghi, as per the Terzaghi, the first assumption is soil in the consolidating layer is homogeneous. Soil is fully saturated. Coefficient of permeability remains same during consolidation. The compression is one-dimensional because he has developed the theory or the formula for the one-dimensional consolidation. So you can see here, U varies with Z only. Pore water pressures changes as per the depth in one direction, or we can see in vertical direction. The flow of water in the soil voids is one-dimensional and Darcy law is valid. We can see the velocity in x directions and the velocity of flow in y direction is 0. So only velocity in z direction had been considered by the Terzaghi. And the Darcy law, as you know, V is equal to Ki. So next assumption is soil is laterally confined and the consolidation takes place only in axial directions. So you can also remember the examples of the consolidation test. If you are going to put this soil sample in the consolidation ring, so there only the vertical displacement, vertical consolidation, vertical settlement is there, right? The lateral displacement is not there, right? Because your sample is in consolidation ring. So the consolidation ring is not going to allow the horizontal displacement of the soil. Okay. So similarly, laterally confined means the only vertical displacement will be there, and from surrounding, no displacement will be there. That means the displacement in horizontal direction or the y direction will be considered zero. And the next assumption is the coefficient of volume compressibility is constant. As you know, volume coefficient of volume compressibility or coefficient of volume change, we have defined that it is the ratio of the volumetric strain to the change in effective stress. See, the consolidation theory, the consolidation one-dimensional theory depends upon some hypothesis. What is the hypothesis? We can say the change in volume of soil is equal to volume of pore water expelled, right? So how the volume of the soil sample, which is fully saturated, once it is going to be compressed or consolidated, so the volume of the soil sample or the soil is going to decrease. How much pore water is going to release, right? Or how much pore water is going to be expelled. So that much amount of volume is going to change. The next assumptions we can see, the volume of pore water expelled is equal to the change in volume of voids. So you can see in the first and second hypothesis, whenever you are going to compress the soil, right, what is going to happen? The volume of the soil is also going to decrease, and correspondingly or accordingly, the water is also going to be expelled. The pore water pressure is going to release, right? The next hypothesis, what he says, that how much pore water pressure is going to release, accordingly, the voids are also going to decrease, right? And since compression is one direction, that means lateral displacement is not there. So change in volume is equal to the change in height. So this hypothesis also we have to follow. We can see this figure. We are going to take one soil element here, the dx and dy, the thickness of the sample. This is the manometer. Okay. So you can see where the manometer has been installed here at the bottom, and here are the top, and z is the height at which the soil element exists. The total thickness of the clay layers, we are going to consider 2h or 2h, right? And it is the double drainage, we can see. Why? Because above the clay layers, the sand layer is there, and below that also sand layer is there. So once this layer is going to be compressed, the expulsion of water will take place in upward as well as in downward direction. Let us see. So let us see what is written here. The layer of clay is shown in sandwich in between the sand strata. Sandwich means the clay layer is in between the sand, in the sand. The sand is available on the top as well as on the bottom also. The clay layer is subjected to an increase in total vertical stress, delta sigma bar, distributed uniformly over a semi-infinite area. Okay. So what is going to happen? At instance of time t loading, when time is 0, so whatever the total stress will be there on the top surface, right? So top surface means on the top surface of the clay layers, which is going to be consolidated. So what we can say, when the time is zero, the excess pore water pressure will also be equal to the total stress, because there is no any load. Okay. And as you know, the total stress is the effective stress, which is also called as pore water pressure, plus the effective stress. So effective stress plus neutral stress is equal to total stress. So in the beginning, when time is 0, what is going to happen? The total stress will be equal to the pore water pressure or neutral stress, right? Because there is no release of pore water. Or we can say, in the beginning, the water is also the pore water is going to take the load of the structure. So let us see. Once the t has elapsed, because of the drainage into the sand air above and below, the distribution of excess pore water pressures varies, right? We can see this table here. The elapsed time is 0. So the total stress, suppose it is delta sigma. So in the beginning, if the time is 0, this will be equal to pore water pressures, and effective stress will be 0, because this will be equal, and in the beginning no stress is going to be applied, and definitely once the static load is going to be applied on the saturated soil, the first load will be taken by the neutral stress or the excess pore water pressures. So this will be equal. So once the time is going to elapse, what is going to happen? The total stress, you can delta sigma bar. Here what is going to happen? As you know, total stress is equal to effective this pore water pressure plus effective stress. So these two things are going to be influenced here, going to be affected. How it is going to be affected? See, once the time is going to elapse, right? Then the excess pore water pressures will be less than the total stress, and effective stress, it will be greater than the effective stress, total stress. Okay. So once the time has elapsed completely, or we can say at the infinitive time, and we have to also remember, and we should know that the consolidation is time dependent phenomena, right? So at the end of the time, what is going to happen? The whole pore water pressure is going to released, and the structure load will come on the soil grains or solid particles. So in that case, the total stress will be equal to effective stress. So this table also gives you a clear concept of the Terzaghi one-dimension consolidations. Now we can see during the process of consolidation, the most general situation would be the one in which flow occurs in all the three orthogonal directions. Whenever a soil element or soil which is fully saturated and exits below the base of a structure, below the base of the footing, right? So once the soil below the base of the footing is going to be compressed, the general situation, the general things is that the flow of water, the expulsion of pore water from the soil elements takes place in all the three directions, in X direction, Y direction, Z direction, okay? And the soil element volume also changes by the change in the dimension in the three direction. Change in dimension means it is going to be compressed. The soil element is going to be compressed. And the continuity equation assumes the form, that is the rate of flow of water in an element in three dimensions is equal to this. We have also studied in the Laplace equation that entry velocity is equal to exit velocity, okay? Entry discharge or exit is equal to exit discharge. So we can see here the velocity in X direction, Y direction, and Z direction. And this is the volume of the soil element, dx dy dz, right? So, and this will be equal to the change in volume, right? So the discharge also we can say here, the pore water pressure release. So pore water, how much pore water pressure is going to release through the soil element will be equal to change in volume. That hypothesis number 1, which we have discussed in the previous slide. So, so that's why it is equal to dou v by dot t. So hypothesis, as I told you, that it is just like the hypothesis 1. That means this is the discharge through the soil element, pore water pressure release, which is equal to change in volume of the soil element. Now we can see the Terzaghi, we have been discussing about Terzaghi one-dimension consolidation theory, right? So in that situation, the flow we can take only in one dimension, right? Which is often encountered in the field. So the previous equation, the velocity of the flow in X direction and Y direction will be 0, and in Z direction only it will be there. So the volume of the soil element we can multiply by this, right? This will be equation 1. Now we can see, as we know, the Darcy law is valid as per the assumption of the Terzaghi one-dimensional consolidation theory. So Vz is equal to, we have already studied Darcy law in permeability chapter, that V is equal to Ki. So Vz, that means velocity at depth Z, Vz is equal to Kz into dou H by dou Z. Dou H is equal to head loss and dou Z is equal to the thickness, right? So if you are going to differentiate it with respect to the thickness, it will become like this. Okay. So now equation 1, this is the equation 1, which we have written in the previous slide. What we shall do? We shall replace this dou Vz by dou Z by these values. Okay. So if you are going to replace it, that means if you are going to substitute these values in this equation, this will become like this. Okay. So this will be the equation 2. Now we shall see during the consolidation, the rate of change of volume is equal to the rate of change of the volume of void. The hypothesis 2. That means we know that the amount of pore water pressure release is equal to change in volume of void also. So both, because the first hypothesis is the release in the expulsion of pore water pressure is equal to change in volume of soil element, and the next expulsion, next hypothesis is the change in the volume of void is equal to the how much water is going to be expelled from the voids, right? So definitely this both will be equal. Change in volume of the soil will be equal to change in volume of void. Now, as we know, the void ratio is equal to volume of void by volume of solid. So we can also write this equation like this way. And this volume of soil, or volume of, here volume of solid we can say, not volume of soil, it remains constant. So void ratio is equal to volume of void by volume of solid. So void is going to change, right? The volume of void is going to decrease or decrease once the pressure is going to increase, or the release of water is pore water pressure is going to take place. So this volume of solid remains constant. So now we can see here, we can also write here the void ratio is equal to volume of void by volume of solid. If you are going to add 1 on left and right side, then what is going to happen? This equation also we can write here after solving volume of void by volume of void plus volume of solid by volume of solid. So this will become total volume, right? So the volume of solid, further we can write from this and this equation, Vs is equal to V by 1 plus E, right? And in the previous slides, we have written here that the volume of void is equal to E into Vs. So if you are going to differentiate with respect to time, what is going to happen? Dou Vv divided by dou T is equal to Vs into dou E by dou T, because the Vs is constant, right? So we are going to differentiate volume of voids and void ratio. And as we know that these equations, the change in volume is equal to change in void ratio. Now, you can see that this equation we can write like this way. So further, the dou Vv volume of void by dou T, we can write is equal to this much, and then Vs is equal to V by 1 plus E. Here we can write, and total V, this V is the total volume of the soil element. So that value we can write dx into dy into dz, right? So this divided by 1 plus E into dou E by dou T. So further, now from equation 2, what is equation 2? This which we have written in the previous slide. This is equation 2. So what we have to do here, we can equate these values, right? We can substitute dou V by dou T, right, is equal to this much in this equation. So if you are going to substitute then what is going to happen? This will this equation 2 will become like this way. Okay. So further we shall strike out this value, and we shall get the 1 by 1 plus e into dou u by dou t is equal to kz dou square h by dou z square. So this will become equation 3. See, as we know, we have studied earlier, at the time of total stress, neutral stress, and effective stress, the neutral stress is also called as pore water pressure. So pore water pressure, as we know, density of water into the height. So we can also write this. We can write this equation further. H is equal to U by gamma W. So gamma W is the normal gamma W is the constant. So if you are going to differentiate 2 times this equation, we shall get this equation 4. So dou square h by dou z square is equal to dou square u by dou z square, right, into 1 by gamma w. So substituting this equation 4 in 3, what is equation 3? Which we have written in the previous slide. This is equation 3. So if you are going to substitute this dou square h by dou z square in this equation 3, then what is going to happen? We can get these values. Okay. So in place of this, we are going to substitute these values, right? See, we also know by the definition of coefficient of compressibility, it is the ratio of the change in void ratio to the change in effective stress. So further, this dou v we can write like this equation. Okay. Further, we can solve the equation number 6. So what we are going to do further, let us see. The total stress is the effective stress plus pore water pressures. So the effective stress also we can write the total stress minus pore water pressures. So if we are going to differentiate, so this is the constant, it will go. So the dou sigma bars minus dou u we can write. Now from 6 we can see the equation 6. So what we shall do? We shall substitute this change in effective stress, right, by dou u in this equation. Equations from equation 6, you can see dou u you can write like this AV into minus dou u. We are going to substitute the values of from the 7 in the 6. So what we shall get? Dou u is equal to AV into dot t we shall get. Now substituting 8, this is the equation 8 in 5. This is equation 5, right? So if you are going to substitute this value in place of dou e, this will become like this way: 1 by 1 plus e into AV into dou u by dou 2 dot t is equal to this much, right? So we can see here. So dou u by dou t, what we can do? We can write, you can write this kz into 1 plus e divided by gamma w into AV into dou square u by dou z square, right? See, we know MV, the coefficient of volume compressibility is equal to AV by 1 plus E. This formula also we know. So here we can substitute this value. So further this equation will become like dou u by dou t into kz is equal to kz by gamma w by MV into dou square u by dou z square. So this is this kz by gamma w into MV is considered as coefficient of consolidation, right? This will be equal to CV. So further, let us see. So further that equation will become dou u by dou t is equal to CV into ds dou square by dz. This is called as coefficient of this is called as the Terzaghi one-dimension consolidation theory equation. Terzaghi one-dimension consolidation equation, right? So as I have we have seen in the previous slides, the CV is equal to this much. So further we can also write as we know MV is equal to AV by 1 plus C. So we can also write this value CV is equal to this much, right? These are very, very important for solving the values of coefficient of consolidation, right? Once the numericals are asked based on this based on this. Suppose kz is given, right? Gamma w is given, or mv is given. We can calculate the coefficient of consolidation by this equation. So the above this equation is called as Terzaghi one-dimension consolidation theory. So this is all about your today topic. So thank you very much.